Aloha and welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing some destructive testing with this piece. This was a piece I recently made. Unfortunately, the client that I made this for was not pleased with it, but for understandable reasons. It has some imperfections that I didn't like myself as well. And so because of that, I'm going to be remaking the entire thing, but I decided instead of just remaking it, I was going to do some good old destructive testing on it and see how strong the tiger shark teeth are. Now, I have tested so many of my pieces that it's very possible that there isn't anyone in the world who has tested shark teeth as much as I have. Maybe not, but it had to be pretty close. Shark teeth as a tool just aren't really used as much anymore. There's more material that's stronger, more durable, easier to find, and so they've kind of phased out. But for the time when they were implemented, especially in Hawaii, they were a very powerful resource. They didn't have metals and steels in Hawaii, not until they started trading with outside trade routes anyway. And so shark teeth were used for weapons, they were used for tools, they were used for all kinds of things. But they, as strong and as powerful as they are, they do have limitations, which I've learned over the years. Against soft tissue, as you saw on the ballistics gel, as you see on the pineapple, they're very powerful, very destructive. They do an enormous amounts of damage, but they're also hollow. And so they can only handle so much impact, and especially the tiger shark teeth, because they have that hook. Anything that they can hook onto, I've noticed oftentimes will cause the teeth to break. And so there's a little bit of a romantic or fanciful feeling with the shark teeth, that they're this unbelievably powerful source, but they do have limitations. They are strong, they are powerful, especially for how natural they are, but they definitely don't beat any metals at all. They are sharp, but what really makes them sharp, especially when a shark bites down, is how much bite force the shark has. And you take into account the teeth, that they come to a pointed edge. The shark teeth are able to just destroy things. But the dried teeth, though, they're hollow on the inside, they're not quite as sturdy. This test here kind of surprised me. So I got different size wooden dowels, and these are oak dowels, so they're pretty tough. The first one was a 1/4 inch, and then I went from 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch to 5/8 inch, or 1/2 inch, then to 5/8 inch. And the 1/4 inch just demolished 4 of those teeth, just straight up broke them, just completely ruined a set of 4 teeth. I didn't quite expect that. And what surprised me even more is now I'm testing the 3/8 inch, which is a thicker dowel, and this time it didn't break any of my teeth. It snapped the dowel off. And so that, I wasn't quite sure at first as to why. Why did it snap on the smaller dowel but not on the thicker dowel? I kind of have an idea as to why, and at the end when I kind of go through the piece, I'll show you what I mean. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So here's the next size up. This is 1/2 inch, and then the last one is 3/4. I don't remember if I actually got to 3/4 inch. I think I might have stopped, or this one might be 3/4 actually. Yeah, this one's 3/4 inch. The last one was 1/2 inch. I didn't go up to 5/8. I just 1 inch either. It had already broken most of the teeth, so there's no real need. And I didn't expect it to break this, and it really didn't. It cut into it, it gouged into it, and I eventually broke it, but I broke it where it's seated into the table. It didn't break up top. And it probably just broke because of the amount of force that I applied to it with the actual paddle itself, and not really because of the teeth or anything like that. But it did do, interestingly enough, a lot more damage than I expected. One of the final tests was just to test the spike at the end, and that kind of did as expected, just stabbed in. Out of curiosity, I wanted to see if I could axe this in. And you know what? I was expecting this just to shatter every single teeth that I did, and it really wasn't. And so the angle that the teeth strike, I think, makes a big difference. And then all of a sudden, one of the strikes I hit and it just cut right into the top of this. And this is plywood. I think it's 3/4 inch ply or 1/2 inch ply, I can't remember. And it's in there pretty tight. Like, I trying to pull it out, it's in there pretty solid, which was really surprising as to how well that actually worked. And I think I got it to stick one more time before I broke the teeth. You can see that it just kind of stabs in. I thought that was cool. I definitely didn't expect that. And so not all of the teeth are brittle. Some are more brittle than others, probably as a result of different fractures or micro cracks that are in the teeth. It's hard to say. But so you can see I pretty much damaged all of the teeth that go around. What's crazy though is that this is still a working edge. So you can see all the little jagged edges of the teeth, like that would still cut, and it still does cut. It's still a nasty edge to get hit with. So even after all of the teeth are broken off, there's still plenty of weapon to deal with here. And so if you're in combat, you've lost some of your cut, but you still have the spike on one end, you still have the teeth that wrap around. It's not even your weapon is still just as effective as when you first start. And so it's kind of interesting there. Now, that wooden dowel I have there, that's that first one. And you can kind of see that wooden dowel is about the size of the teeth themselves. And what I mean by that is the thickness of that dowel kind of fits right in where the tooth hooks. And so I think what happened is when I struck, it hit that hook and it just straight up broke out all of those teeth that were on that upper section on that first strike. So you can kind of see this is another tooth that I had that I'd pre-drilled, and you can kind of see right there how it slots in. And so that's why I think it just shaved off those first four, is it was small enough that it could fit at a weak point on the teeth and broke all of those teeth off. In fact, you could actually see the angle that they broke. That was the section they broke at that angle that I struck it at. And so it's kind of interesting. Just the relative size made a difference. Like the bigger dowels didn't quite make the same difference. And the other thing too is on these tiger shark teeth, usually where I try to drill it is that bottom section there, which is the enamel. The upper section is, or not the enamel, the root of the tooth. The upper section is the enamel. And so I try to keep the hole in the root so I don't break the integrity of the enamel. But the teeth are still hollow inside. Now a living tooth, a shark that's alive, it's probably not hollow. Probably has material on the inside which helps keep it more robust and stronger. But sharks, their teeth, they've got thousands of teeth. The teeth fold out. And so one breaks and it doesn't matter. The other one folds right out. Which is probably why they have that, is because they break off and the next ones come in place. But they do cut really well, which is what tiger sharks do. Tiger shark teeth are really meant to slice back and forth. And that's what when they bite down, they move their head back and forth and it creates like a sawing action. And you can kind of see, it's difficult because I'm too far away from the camera, but you can kind of see the edge of the teeth there where it has those slots. It's a little bit harder to see from this angle, but that's why you would do those slicing actions with the mano rather than like a hammer action. But they are still pretty tough. And so you can see just hammering all the sawdust on that. You can see just hammering down on the tooth, it kind of digs into the table, but it doesn't actually break the tooth. And so I think just the angle at which it gets hit, it just is fragile in certain directions. And so it's kind of interesting. I had a lot of fun testing with this. It's been a while since I've done a destructive test, and so that was actually kind of fun. But it's still a nasty piece. You can see all the way around. I mean, it's still very much a cutting edge. You could still just do so much damage with this, and so it's very interesting. I'm going to be cutting this down and it's still going to be a leo mano, but it's going to be a very custom piece. So my goal is to make it better, not worse, but we'll see how it goes. That'll be in some video in the future. I'm currently working on a different style of weapon, from Micronesia. Super excited about it. It's taking a little bit of time to get it done, and so in the interim I thought I'd publish this here. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you want to see me do some more testing like this, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Mahalo. Aloha.